If you found this episode, you've already survived something you thought would break you. Maybe no one clapped for you, no one showed up, or no one noticed the way you kept going with your heart half missing. But I did. And this space, this sacred space, it's for you. For the woman who gave him grace and called it strength, who shrunk herself just to be held, who cried in the car, then walked in smiling. Welcome to Poised in Pain, where silence becomes truth and ache becomes art. My name is Pam, and I don't know your whole story, but I know you're still here, and I know you are still her, and you are not alone anymore. This episode is for the woman who whispers her truth, even in rooms where she should be screaming. For the woman who polishes her feelings to sound more lovable. For the girl who learned early that survival meant silence. You are not crazy. You are not dramatic. You are simply not used to being heard. By the time I moved here, I was already stitched together with prayers and panic. I had just left a toxic relationship in Florida, and my dad gave me a little house. It's only 2-bedroom. It wasn't much, but it was mine. It was a place that I can go to begin again with my kids. But that house didn't stay safe for long. My sister, her partner, and her 5 children moved in. And her partner at the time always brought chaos with him. He was constantly drinking, cheating. We had more raids than I can count. And then one night, a fight broke out. My kids were sleeping. Her kids were sleeping. I had to work the next day. And something in me just snapped. Not out of anger, but out of protection. And I told her, "You and the babies can stay, but he can't." I'll never forget the look on her face. Her eyes were already swollen with tears, 'cause she just wasn't ready to leave him. My brothers came over that night because they had heard what happened. And they kept telling me, "Sleep it off. It's just an emotional night." No one asked how I felt. No one defended my kids' peace. I just left from chaos, and no one, not one person, defended my kids' peace. They just kept telling me to let it go. Then my sister's boyfriend looked at me in the face and said, "Look around you, Pam. You have no one. Me and your sister, we got everyone." And he wasn't wrong, because not one person stood beside me. had just escaped a man who tried to break me in Florida. And still, I came here holding this hope like a newborn. And you know what broke me? It wasn't the chaos. It was coming home, crying on the floor, and realizing I had no one. That the people who said they loved me watched me drown quietly. It did nothing. I almost went back to Florida that night, to the man I had finally escaped. Because even that toxic love felt more like safety than this silence did. I felt disposable. I felt like my only job was to be strong and not seen. Like my pain was fine as long as I didn't make a mess with it. I started to believe I wasn't worth standing up for. That maybe I did ask for too much. That maybe love wasn't loud, just quiet enough to leave you doubting. So I packed what I could that night, and I left my own house, the one that my father gave me for a fresh start, the one that my dad gave me. I left it because I wasn't being dramatic. I was just so done screaming into silence. See, the thing about growing up in chaos, sometimes silence becomes your survival, but not because you're weak. It's because your brain learns that quiet means safety. It's not passivity, it's neuroprotection. But the cost? You begin to believe your voice is dangerous. And that belief will kill you slowly. After everything settled down, I tried to talk to them about it later. And when I finally found the courage to tell them what I'd been through, one of them looked at me and said word for word, "If you liked getting beat so much, I can beat you." And they laughed. I didn't even cry. I just went quiet. Because how do you grieve something everyone else finds funny? How was it funny? Like I hadn't just survived the kind of love that nearly broke me. Like my pain made me the joke instead of the survivor. And maybe that's what cut deepest. Not just how cruel they were, but how normal it felt to them. How comfortable they were mocking my wounds while I was still bleeding. They said I was being too sensitive, too emotional. They told me I was loved, but I just didn't see it. So I swallowed it again and I never brought it up again. We're in a good place now. But I still wonder, do they love me more now because I'm healed? Or just because I stopped bleeding where they could see it? Funny thing about drama, it's often loudest for the ones who had to hold it. Everyone else gets to forget. But I've lived inside the echo every day since. Every time I swallow my truth to keep the peace, I lost a little more of myself. Until I was a puppet performing the version of me that they could tolerate. Smiling, shrinking, and slowly disappearing. If my throat could speak without permission, it would scream. Because I don't want soft lies anymore. I want truth. And maybe the truth makes people uncomfortable. But I'm not here to coddle discomfort. I'm here to stop abandoning myself. Before I go, let me ask you, what are you still swallowing just to keep the peace? Whose comfort are you protecting more than your clarity? What would your voice say if you didn't have to filter it? And who decided your voice had to be soft to be believed? I don't live in that house anymore. I don't live in that silence either. I have found pieces of myself in the ruins. Not all at once, but in moments, really small ones. And speaking, even when my voice shakes. And saying no without explaining. And telling the truth even if it's inconvenient. I still flinch sometimes when I'm too loud. I still wonder if I'm being too much. But I come back to this. Maybe I wasn't too much. Maybe the room was just too small. And now I'm building bigger rooms. Ones where I don't have to whisper. Ones where my kids never wonder if their mom had a voice. 'Cause I'm not too much. And I'm no longer swallowing echoes that weren't mine to carry. And just like me, you're not difficult and you are not dramatic. You're just no longer willing to shrink. And if your voice shakes, let it. 'Cause even a trembling truth is stronger than a silent wound. If this shook something in you, write the thing you never said, not to post, just to finally see it. I'm Pam, and this is Poised in Pain. Still here, still her, still fire, and walking through the smoke with you. And if no one ever told you this part of your story mattered, let me be the first to say, you're not invisible anymore. And if you are, I see you. I really do.